Hi everyone and welcome to today's lesson on mixed numbers. Yes, this is a continuation of that very exciting topic on numbers. All right, now at this moment this level is pitched at a year 7 level, and for those of you who are currently being taught by me, this is the work I would like you to complete by the end of the lesson. If you have any outstanding work, of course, obviously please finish that. Now, those of you who are watching in internet land, hello and welcome. I am the MaffsGuru, and hopefully this little lesson will make some sense for you. Now, as I always like to do, let's start with a bit of a recap. In previous lessons, we looked at how in the UK, and yes, you can tell I have a bit of a UK accent, and Australia seem to name things differently, and I blame Barry for all of this. Oh, Barry. I'm going to do a whole lesson on Barry one day, but in the UK, we call fractions where the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Now, if you remember, the top number is the numerator. Why? Because numerator begins with NU, and the bottom number is my denominator. Why? Well, the best we can come up with is D is for down, and this is down on the bottom. This here is called a proper fraction. Why is it called proper? Because it looks proper, right, innit, mate? But Barry, unfortunately, has decided that here in Australia, and maybe in other parts of the world, we call them improper fractions. Now, if that's a proper fraction, what on earth is an improper fraction? Well, this is an example of an improper fraction. An improper fraction is where the numerator is actually bigger than the denominator. Now, you're going to say, why on earth denominator? Why on earth would we write things this way? Funnily enough, in fractions, later on when we add them and take them and order them, it makes life a lot easier if we write them as top-heavy or improper. Now, as is usual, we find that fractions become harder because of Barry. Yes, thanks Barry, we salute you because he's been at it again, and now we have to worry about mixed numbers. Now, when I see mixed numbers, I think to myself, hold on a moment, are we going to place a load of numbers in a mixer? And strangely, that then reminded me of my childhood and this awesome stuff here, which was alphabet soup. I don't know what you call it anywhere else in the world, but it was great. Used to sit there with this bowl of just gluggy spaghetti that was cut into letters, and yes, you could see what words you made out of them. And here, that was me saying, help, get me out of this video. Can you stop talking rubbish and get on to the next section? Well, your wish is my command. So, what are mixed numbers? Well, I think they're sort of easy, and hopefully they are. It's just a way of writing improper fractions as a whole number and a fraction. So let's go back to my love in life, and that is pizza. And I'm using the same picture of the pizza, although why they put lemon on a pizza, I don't know. So actually I'm going to scribble the lemon through, because that's just gross. And, well, let's imagine I'm now working at a pizzeria. I've decided to forego teaching, and I'm going to go and work at a pizzeria, which actually would see me very full all the time because I love pizza. Now, at the end of the shift, I'm going to put all of the leftover pizzas on all of the trays back into a box. Now, obviously, when you get a box delivered at the door, hopefully each box will only hold one whole pizza. Now, it doesn't matter how many slices my pizza's been cut into. Once I put the correct number of slices into that box, I can't put any more. So if you imagine here's my box. Once I've put one whole pizza in, I can't put enough pieces in there to make one whole pizza. I can't put any more in it. It's not like I'm going to try and squeeze them in the edge there, is it? Or sort of stick them to the bottom. One whole pizza is one whole pizza. Yay, that's what I say. So I found at the end of my shift, and it's been a busy shift, lots of pizza was sold, that I've only got 9 slices of pizza left. That's it, 9 slices of pizza left. And the good news is they're all cut into equal shapes. And that doesn't look very equal, so we'll try that one again. They have all been cut into perfectly equal sizes. Now, my pizza boxes, I know, will actually only hold 6 pieces in each pizza box. So that's like saying 6 pieces is equal to one whole pizza. Right, so hold on. If I have 9 slices, how many whole pizzas can I make? Well, this can be written in lots and lots of different ways, but I like to write it as I got here. I've got 9 pieces of pizza, which I have to then make sure that I split them into 6 holes. All right, I've got to try and fit that into a box that contains 6. Well, can you see that this here is improper? Yes, or top heavy, because the top number is bigger than the bottom. So Here's the big question. How do I now make that into a mixed number? Now remember, a mixed number is one that has whole numbers, has a whole number, and a fraction. So examples might be 1 and 2/3, 3 1/2, 6 5/7. These are all mixed numbers. Can you see? There is my whole number and there is my fraction. There is my whole number, there is my fraction. There is my whole number and there is my fraction. Okay, so I've got 9 pieces out of 6. So I know that 6 pieces will make one whole pizza. So if I take those 6 pieces away from 9, I get 3 pieces left. So I must have 1 whole one and 3 pieces left. But that doesn't make a lot of sense because I need to try and work out what fraction of a whole pizza is left. Well, I've got 3 out of, and I know that 6 can go in my box. How did I know that? Well, these bottom numbers here have to be exactly the same. And so I have 1 and 3/6. Hold on a moment. Something doesn't look right. Well, yeah, remember last lesson we were looking at the idea of simplifying. So we said if we had 5 out of 10, that could be simplified to a half. If I have 3 over 9, that can be simplified to 1 over 3. Why? Because I can divide the top and the bottom by the same number. Now, when we are simplifying fractions, we need to we need to divide the top numbers by and the bottom numbers by the same thing. So as you can see here, I've divided by 5 and divided by 5. How have I gone from 3 to 1? Yes, lots of people say, take away 2. And I'm like, no, you got to divide. How do I? I divide by 3. What do I do here? I divide by 3. So let's have 4 on 12, for example. Well, I know that 4 and 12 are both in the 4 times table. So I'm going to divide the top number by 4, and I'm going to divide the bottom number by 4, which gives me 1 on 3. So if we go back to my original, and I had 1 and 3 on 6, I now know that that 3 on 6 can become equal to a half. So, nice and easy, 9 on 6 can be written as 1 1/2. Here are some other examples. Let's do, 12 on 9. So, we now know that 9 pieces makes a whole. I've got 12 pieces. So I know that 9 of those 12 will make a whole one. How many do I then have over? Well, how many do I have left over? Well, 12 take away 9 is equal to 3. So there's 3 pieces on the top out of. Well, in this case, if you remember, my pizza box will hold 9 slices to make a whole one. I can make this simpler because 3 and 9 are both in the 3 times table. So I divide the top one by 3. Divide the bottom one by 3, and there we go. Ooh, this is awesome. So what about 17 on 4? Ooh, tricky. Right, well now I know that my pizza box will take 4 pieces per box. So I suppose I sort of have to say, well, if I've got 7 pieces, how many 4s go into 7? Well, I've got 4, 8, 12, 16. All right, so there's 4 will go in one box, 4 will go in another, 4 will go in another, and 4 will go in another. So there's 4 whole boxes of pizza. But I've got 17. So that must mean that there's 1 little piece left over. So there's 1 piece left over out of 4 that can go into a box. And there is my mixed number. One more. Let's do 17 over 6. Oh, I like this. So again, I'm now going to look at how many I can get in each box. We know that each box is going to have 6. So there's 6, 12. Now, the next one would be 18, but I don't have enough pieces to go into that one. So I now have 2 whole boxes. I've got 12 pieces have been used, 17 in total. So I must have 5 out of 6 left. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There is real numbers. No, there is, try again. What am I calling this? Mixed numbers. This stuff's awesome. Now, in maths, what we do forwards, we can always do backwards. And it's really, really important. We have to be able to turn mixed numbers into improper fractions. Now, how on earth do we do that? Well, we just sort of do it backwards. And what do you mean do it backwards? Okay, let's imagine, as I say here, I've got 2 and 1/5. And I need to turn that into an improper fraction. I need to turn it so the top number is bigger than the bottom number. There is no whole numbers at all. Right, so the first thing we do is we look at this bottom number here. My pizza box will hold 5 slices. And I know this number here means I've got 1 slice just in a box on its own. I know I've got 2 whole boxes. So I've got 5 slices in one box and I've got 5 slices in another box. How many slices have I got altogether? 5 and 5 is 10, plus the 1. I've got 11 slices divided by 5. Why is it divided by 5? Because I've got 5 in each box. 5 slices goes in each box. See how this works? So what if I had 3 and 2/3, for example? Well, I know, here we go, that I've got my pizza box will hold 3 slices and I've got 3 boxes full. So there's 3 slices, there's 3 slices, and there's 3 slices. And I've got 2 just left over. So 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. So I've got 11 slices. And I know that my pizza boxes can only hold 3 pieces per box. This stuff is amazing. We'll do another one. 6 and 7, 9. So let's make it complicated. Let's throw some 9 times table in all of this. Right. So my pizza box, if you can remember now, holds 9 pieces. And I've got 6 whole boxes already full. So there's 9 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. They've all got 9, 9, 9, 9 and 9 in. 7 pieces left. So 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54. Plus 7 gives me 61 pieces. And we know my pizza boxes can hold 9 in each. Ladies and gentlemen, life is pizza. Maths is pizza. How do we use this in a practical sense? Well, we've got to remember that we've actually done all sorts of different stuff so far. All right, we've learned about number lines. If you remember, we've got a video on number lines and placing fractions on number lines. We can now use the stuff we've got there to put proper, improper, and whole numbers onto number lines. So this is going to be important to help you ask some questions that you're going to come up to in that exercise. So write the following fractions on the number line. First things first, maths is a big, fat trick. It's going to try and trick you. What do you notice? Well, I noticed my fractions are 2/3, 2, 5/3, and 3 and 1/3. They're all over the place. We've got here a proper fraction, we've got a whole number, an improper, and a mixed number. So they're trying to trick us. And actually, to be able to put these things on a number line effectively and properly, we need to turn all of these into improper fractions. Yeah, we're going to turn them all top heavy. All right, my handwriting on this has gone dreadful. Well, I can't turn 2/3 top heavy because it's 2/3. We can't do anything about that. If you remember, a whole number can be made into a fraction by dividing it by 1. Doesn't change the size, but 2 divided by 1 is still 2. 5 on 3 is already improper. We like that. Thank you very much. And now 3 and 1/3. If we remember the bottom number, this 3 tells me that I've got 1, 2, I've got 3 whole boxes with 3 in each, and I've got this 1 left over. So 3, 6, 9, 10. So 10 on 3. Now you might turn around and go, well, okay, I've got all the information I need now, but sadly not. To be able to put these on a number line, we need all the numbers to have the same bottom. So 2/3, 5/3, and 10/3, all awesome. All thank you very much, very helpful, great, 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 great. But this one doesn't have a 3 on the bottom, and so I'm going to pull in another part of my lesson. 2/1, I need to change it so that it's an equivalent fraction. How do I get from 1 to 3? I times by 3. And what I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So that now becomes 6 on 3. So that's awesome. Now I can draw my number line. That was a dreadfully not very straight number line. So here is my number line. I'm going to go 0. Now, here is my number 1. Here is my number 2. Here is my number 3. Here is my number 4. Because each of these bottom numbers is a 3, it means I've got to have 3 gaps between each of my big numbers. Remember? Yeah, this number here tells me how many gaps. And so, first things first, this one here is 1/3, this is 2/3. Now, do you remember? I can now rub out the 1, and I can put 3/3, 4/3, 5/3. Just keep counting. Oh, I put a 6 on the bottom there. 5/3, 6/3, 7/3, 8/3. 3 now becomes 9/3, 10/3, and we might as well finish this off 11/3, and 4 becomes 12/3. So now, if this wanted me to put it on a number line, I will just circle 2/3, thank you very much, 6/3, thank you very much, 5/3, thank you very much, and 10/3 as well. Remember, 3 divided by 3 is 1, 6 divided by 3 is 2, 9 divided by 3 is 3, and that is 4, and let's just put my 0 up there as well, because that's 0/3. What was the whole point of this? Number one, we've got a whole range of fractions here. Some of them have got 3's on the bottom, some of them are whole numbers, some of them are in mixed numbers. We turn them all, so they were fractions, be it improper or proper. We noticed that one of those numbers, this one on the bottom here, didn't have a 3, so we'd used my equivalent fractions to turn it, and then once they all had 3's on the bottom, I was able to transfer that onto the number line. Okay, thank you very much for taking the time and watching this. As you can see, the work that I require you to do is here with a smiley face. The extension questions, should you do them? Absolutely, yes you should, if you want to be smart. Thanks very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time. Hey guys, if you've enjoyed watching this video, why not tune in and subscribe to get updates of when I do other videos. Alternatively, click this video that's coming up now, or just zip on over to MaffsGuru.com, MaffsGuru.com, where you can actually access all the videos in a nice, easy to use way.